Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Damontae bringing you a banger. Don't forget to follow on my Twitch, please. This is where we have daily content. With the new release of the Boys in Blue DLC, I figured I'd come through and make a review talking about the new guns and the new mission, and giving you guys my opinion on this. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and start out with the actual weapons of this DLC. It comes in with a LMG, a new MP5 SMG, a new assault rifle DMR style 20-shot rounder, and then you also have a brand new revolver that's been in the game, and it's been like one-shotting everything. It's very powerful. Next, we want to point out the obvious is that a new heister is back, Clover. One of the fans' favorites. I was nice to see Clover come back here. I'd like to see Houston come back as well. It's one of my favorite characters. But having another female character to the game is definitely a big thumbs up to me. Now let's go ahead and turn pages here and go into the actual meat and potatoes of this DLC, which is essentially the actual heist itself. Now, I did get to play through this heist a handful of times, maybe 5 or 6 times. The objective and the main objective seem pretty quick, but we'll go ahead and get in that in just a moment. I just wanted to point something out real quick though. On this mission in particular, I never ran into a techie. I don't know if that's meant to be, I don't know if that's a glitch or a bug or something. But specifically on this mission, Boys in Blue, we never came in contact with a techie enemy, which, you know, is nice in my opinion. I don't like fighting the robots, but it's just something that needed to be pointed out. So the mission essentially goes like this. You show up there in Loud, and you attempt to put the winch from the tow truck onto the vault to rip that door off. And then from that standpoint, you take the loot from inside the vault, you open up the inner gate to get more loot from inside the vault, and then you pass all that loot into the garage to throw into a van. Now as you're using the winch to open the vault door, there's going to be a objective where you need to find a generator and then hook that generator up to the winch. That's just another little objective you have to do, which is a nice little touch. But all in all, this mission is pretty quick. So as we were mentioning the vault earlier, we have loot items like cocaine, we have the rare elements, we have bags of money, but the most important loot here is that there's gold inside the cage that Vlad is wanting us to get from like the evidence room, I believe this is. Now there is a side objective that you can do here where Vlad wants you to hack the servers essentially and give him like information that they have on him, or something along the lines of that. I couldn't really understand it because the mission's quite fast, so you kind of have to play it a bunch to really understand what's going on. But that is a side objective, it's not a main objective of this mission, which I felt was worth mentioning here. Now nearing the end of the actual heist, you have to take the bags from the vault over to the garage, where now you have to lower a police van that's armored up for you guys that was left there as an asset from Shade, if I'm not mistaken. And from there you have to lower it from the little lift that it's on, and then after that you want to fill it with the bags that you're wanting to steal. I don't believe you have to steal all the bags, I think you only need to steal the gold if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, you're able to leave the mission and you've successfully completed the Boys in Blue. Okay. So now that we've talked about the DLC and we've reviewed everything that's in the DLC except from like some stickers and stuff like that, let's go ahead and talk about some other stuff. So I just want to point out some things real quick. Considering the amount of time it has taken, you know, Starbreeze to actually release the next DLC, it doesn't really contain too much. It contains like 4 new guns, or actually 3 new guns and an LMG that's free. It contains Clover, I think she's free. It also contains the Boys in Blue heist, and then you get like some stickers and like a charm for your gun. And now let's talk about the heist again real quick. It only is about like a 10 to 15 minute mission. So the amount of time that they've spent making this heist, it's only essentially about a 10-15 minute mission. So there's really not a whole lot to see in this mission. Now, me personally, I didn't like the color scheme of this map, if that's the correct word here. Like, if you're just looking around the map, it seems very dull. It seems very, like, gray and like, yellowish, if that makes sense. I'm not the biggest fan of this color scheme. I'd like to see, you know, a little more vibrant colors, but, you know, maybe not every map is portrayed this way. Maybe they're wanting to portray a very certain, you know, feel or an aspect inside this mission, so that could be the reason for that one. But me, personally, wasn't a big fan of the color scheme. Now, another very important thing I want to point out on Payday 3 is that there is another game that's in competition with the Payday series right now. It's called Crime Boss Rock-A City. And they had an update just recently as well. So both of these updates fell within the same month. I'm not too sure what the numbers look like right now of like player base of Payday 3 versus player base of Crime Boss. But we're rooting for Payday here, hoping that they can pull things together and release the next DLCs much more quickly. Because Crime Boss, on the other hand, are much more fast-paced with their updates, and they're content-heavy. So we're really wanting to see more content, you know, be piled into Payday 3 here. I've played a lot of Payday in the past, and I've played tons of heisting, you know, games. I would love to see Payday 3 become a much better game than it is currently. It just has some work to do still. Now, I've already mentioned it in the past, I'd like to see more options of weapons, more customizability of these weapons, not sharing the same modifications for every weapon as well. I'd like to see more better put together like cutscenes. Like, once again, as I mentioned, the Crime Boss game certainly has really good cutscenes. Payday's, on the other hand, is more like a slideshow. So not my preferred favorite there, but those are some of the things I'd like to see. I'd like to see better differentiation, or whatever the word's called. I'd like to see more skills that are, you know, applying to the loud play style. Because currently right now there's only like, you know, you just choose a couple skills that are good, and then that's pretty much what you run for the whole time. It's either you run like armor setups, or you run, right now it's like the health based setup. So it's pretty much all you've got right now. So I'd like to see some more different types of skills to be put into the game. But other than that, I'd rate this DLC pretty good. Unfortunately, it did take some time for it to be released, but it's a decent play. It's really fun to play. It's only, you know, 10 minutes long, so it doesn't take a super long amount of time to complete it. But the real question here is when will the next DLC be released? Will it be multiple months like this one was? Or will it be within a few weeks? We don't know. It's just, seeing as this DLC didn't necessarily have a long mission, and it didn't have a whole lot of stuff in it, I'm not too certain as to what we should be seeing for the next DLC. We can keep our hopes up for sure. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. What did you guys think of the Boys in Blue DLC? And leave me a comment, a like, and we'll see you guys in the next one.